Let's go. Right. Hello, everybody. This is Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Jersey, and I am here tonight to walk us through one of each of the paper pumpkin cards that are in the, it's actually the July kit, and the kit is called Fun in the Sun. And we have people online, and we're going to just walk through making the cards and hopefully get them right. So let's switch over to my desktop. There we go.
There's some feedback. I don't know whether it's on my end. I'm going to go on
Yeah,
mute.
if you guys mute, that would be great. Yeah. But then, chime in anytime you need to. Okay. All right. So here's our paper pumpkin box, and we'll go ahead and take a look at what we have inside. I've obviously opened mine already, but we have an adorable stamp set. So excited about it, especially the little sun. And we have a little Daffodil Delight ink spot. So always good to have those basic colors. There are also some gems in there. And I didn't show the thing that's probably on top of yours is the roll of the tear and tape. Now, tear and tape is a very strong, easy to work with adhesive. And I actually hoard it, so I don't use it when it comes in my kits. I know Lois is laughing at me, but I hoard it because I like to use it on 3D projects and other things. So I'm not going to use mine today, but yours was at the top of your package when you opened it. So next up, we have the gorgeous envelopes. All the envelopes are the same. They have the rainbow on the back flap and they're lined. So should you need some boho blue or somewhere between boho blue and azure afternoon, if you need any paper like that, you can always cut apart your envelopes and use them that way, or you can just save them and use them when you send your cards. So now we have our the bulk of our pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and take mine all out and make a pile to work through. And like I always do, we're going to make piles for each card. There are 3 cards that we're going to make, and we have our instructions. So these are the 3 cards. If you haven't already seen them, they are adorable and they're 3D, so it's always fun. And we're going to make piles of the ingredients for each of the cards so that we know what we're working with. Now, I do have to say, when I did this on my own, somehow, I don't know if it was me or the directions that put things in the wrong pile. So we'll see if that happens again. It could just be me, but who knows? I'm just giving you a heads up. So we're going to take one of each of the different sets. So the first set has the palm trees and the sun. And this, you're going to punch that out. And this piece goes with card number 1. So I'm going to put that into a pile for card number 1 right here. The second piece also goes with card number 1. And this is just some sand, if you will. All right, to get some sand there. And that's it for that piece. And then you can put your other ones aside for if you make these cards in the future. Now we come to our first card base, and this card base is actually for card number 3. So I'm going to put that over here in pile number 3, and just one of them. That's where that's going to go. Next up, we have a sailboat and a sunset. So let's go ahead and punch both of those out, and they both go with card number 3. Hopefully mine are in the same order as yours. I tried really hard to keep it that way, which is not easy to do when, I want to play with everything. I want to touch everything. Okay, and I'm putting away the extra of that. The next is another card base, and these are really fun. I didn't point it out, but we're going to do some fun folding. And they've made it really easy for us by giving us lots of score lines. And when you have to do this on your own, it can be a little tricky because you've got to cut this out of the center of the paper. Not even the center, it's towards the left side. So it gets a little tricky. So it's very nice to have this already done. And this is the card base for card number 2. So go ahead and put that in card number 2. I feel like I'm calling bingo. And when I do this, that's what it feels like. All right, the next one, we have some more palm trees. So I don't know why I start with the right side. It's a weird thing, huh? Anyway, but palm trees, and those palm trees are going to go with card number 3. And we have this adorable little sign. I really like this, actually. You'll see when it's on the card, but this goes with card number 2. And then we have some sky and sand and water and seagulls. And that is going to go with card number 2 as well. And then the other side. And here's our last card base, which happens to be to go with card number 1. Just how that worked out. So now we've got all 3 of our card bases, and I'm stacking up the pieces on top. Put away the extras. And then we have the most colorful one, and this has the beach umbrella. So I'm going to pop out the beach umbrella, and that goes with card number 2 once we get that out of there. Card number 2. And then we have the surfboards sticking up in the sand, and that's going to go with card number 1. Right. And then we'll put my extras away. And then we come to sheets that have multiple pieces on them. So let's start with the little seashells. The little seashells, you need 1 for card number 1 and 1 for card number, this one says card number 3. Let's put it at number 3 and we'll see what happens. I think this is the one of the ones that might be in the wrong place, but we'll see. Then we have these adorable flip-flops. Love, love, love them. And they go with card number 2. Our little lobster or crab, whichever you want to call him. I guess he's a crab. Anyway, he goes with card number 1. And then we have a bunch of stars. We're actually going to use 2 of these. One is going to go with card number 1. And one is going to go with card number 3. And I'm going to tell you, because I made these cards earlier today, I originally told you that the second of the little clams, that's going to go with card number 2, not card number 3. I remember that from before. I think I do. Oh, who knows? Anyway, and then the last thing out of this sheet is the little sunglasses. Gotta love that. And they go with card number 2 with the flip-flops. So then we put all those rest of them away. And now we get to our banners. Our plain white banners is next. And we're going to use 1 of each of these. The long one, the long banner, goes with card number 3. The shorter banner, and it also has a softer shade for the outline than the long one. That one goes with card number 1. And the little rectangle goes with card number 2. And it's very nice. We always have some extras on here, which is always nice. And lastly, we have these very intricately cut, laser cut die cuts, and it's the chair. And that chair goes with card number 2. So those are all the supplies that came in the kit and divided into whichever cards they belong to. Give me a thumbs up if you have them all sorted. Okay, great job, ladies. All right, we're going to move to card number 1. So I'm just going to slightly push the others out of the way. I have a limited space on my desktop here, so I'm going to pull out the pile for card number 1, and I'm going to just slide everything off, because the first thing we're going to do is fold our card. Now you see all the different score lines. There's one here, there's one here, then there are 3 in a row, 1, 2, 3, and then another one down here. The way that I go about doing it is I fold this one first, and you just have to be careful. You can't really fold it all the way yet because you have the other pieces in the way. We have a visitor. It is Stormy, and I'm going to have to move her, but you can see her feet there. Sorry, she had a little incident with her food today, so she's hungry, but she's not allowed to eat yet. So poor baby, right?
Poor
Brat.
thing.
I know. Well, she's now she's behind the computer. We'll see how this goes. Didn't I didn't catch her before she came up. Okay, so now that we have that fold, we want to take this bottom one and fold it down. Okay, and you see that it separates the middle. Okay, and the way I found it easiest was just to work my way up here. So this folds down, so that's a mountain. We get a mountain fold there. The next one becomes a valley fold. And I'm not pushing really hard yet because we'll do that when we're done. So then you have, okay, so you have a mountain, a valley, and then you're going to make another mountain. And again, it's a little tricky. Okay, until you get them all the way they need to go. And then you have another valley. And the last one becomes mountain. And once you get that last mountain, you can see how it'll just fold into itself. Does that make sense, ladies? Sheila, were you able to get it this time by doing it this way?
Yeah, yes, and it was so easy the way you told us to start from the bottom. I couldn't do
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very easy.
I of course started from the top like you would think, but I kept finding myself switching to the bottom because it was getting in the way. So
Yeah, and I'm like perplexed, so
okay. So okay, let's start again. We're gonna make
sorry.
more of these, but let's do it one more time with this one. First one you're gonna do is pull apart the center,
Yeah.
right? And fold that into a mountain. That's the left side.
Got it.
At the very lowest,
I got that one.
okay, so that's a mountain. And then there's a valley,
Yeah.
and then a mountain, and then a valley,
Yeah.
and then that last one is a mountain.
Oh, okay. I just didn't. Okay. I had the right
Last one.
things. I just didn't quite get that last step. Thanks.
Okay, good. Now, what I like to do is to take my scoring bone because it drives me crazy that it pops up when I'm trying to work with it. So I'm using an scoring bone. All my stations are all set up for my classes that are there tomorrow and Saturday, but that means that I don't have any of my scoring bone. So I'm using my pretty pink one. All right, so we have this nicely scored. Hey, Sheila, can you put us on? We're getting feedback. Don't know why, but thank you. Oh, there she goes. Thank you. Okay, so now we have what we're going to work with. So the first thing we're going to start with is this background that has the palm trees. And the way that I did this is I stretched it out again. And I put my adhesive right here, and that is what they show in the instructions, except that they used this Stampin' the strips. And they put it right onto the card, and that did make it a little easier. So they put 2 strips right onto the card. And then you're going to take this adorable little piece, and you're just going to place it, line it right up to the score line that you had. And then when you fold it back the way we just had it, you see this is what you end up. All right, and look at that, how this, it should match. Of course, if you do it standing up, maybe you get it to match, but it's close enough because it's going to look like that. All right. So now we'll work on the next layer on the inside, and that is using the sand. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and put it right onto the my adhesive right onto the piece. And again, they use the strip, and you want to put it just at the bottom because this step, now we call this a step card because there are different steps here, right? And so on the second step is where this is going to go. And again, I think this was kind of, I think this actually should go a little bit higher, but that's not how they had it. But I'm going to put mine a little bit higher. See how I left a little bit here. Okay. That could just be me, the way that I'm doing it. But it's definitely the right way. Excuse me while my cat. Go, come on. Go someplace else. Go someplace else. Okay, she's gone. All right. So now we're going to take our, oops. No, next thing, let's go ahead and stamp our label, okay? Because we're going to use that next. So we're going to use our Daffodil Delight ink pad. And of course, I'm going to use my full-size one. Because I save my little spots and I give them away. I give out kits and things like that. Oh, now the dog's coming to visit. Excuse me for a second. Hello. All right, you need to go find something to do too, okay? So it's a menagerie, right? Okay. So I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight, and you can use whichever saying you want, but the one that they used was Sunshine. What is it? Hello, Sunshine. So we're going to peel that off. And put that onto our block. And ink it up. And stamp it down. Let's see. There we go. Hello, Sunshine. So watch what we're going to do with this. This little banner. Check out this little crab or lobster, whatever. It's a crab, right, girls? Crab? Yes. Okay, I'm getting it. Look, his little hands open. Can you see that? They open because they're pre-cut that way. So we're just going to slide in our sign so that the crab is holding our sign for us. I'm gonna put my glasses on, I can see. All right. So look how he's holding the sign. Isn't that adorable? So to put him into the card, though, this is one of the places where I didn't agree with what their instructions were. We're just going to put some adhesive down here. And they use the tear and tape, I think. And you're just going to put them towards the bottom of his body. And so that you can stick him on the sand so that he sticks up when you fold it in. All right. That's how we got him. Everybody good with that? Yeah.
Which layer am I adhering him?
To the center, the second step.
Okay.
Where we just put the sand.
Yep. Thanks.
That's where he goes. Is that the cutest thing? I can't even stand it. It's so adorable. Okay. And then we're going to take our surfboard. And for this, we're going to put adhesive at the bottom. So we're doing the sand. And then on the shorter surfboard, you're just going to put a little at the top just to kind of hold it all together. And I'm going to close up my card and line it up in the front, right at the bottom. And there you have that. Now, one thing is, if you're finding that your sign is coming out a little bit, you can use glue dots or adhesive to just put onto the claws and then pop it in and then it'll stay. But I didn't do that for this, just to be aware. They showed a different way of doing it, but then the whole card got stuck together. And I was like, I don't know what they were trying to do there. So anyway, okay, so now we have just a couple of little pieces to put on the front. And then we're going to take our star and our seashell. And I'm going to use my mat. Now they, of course, use the little glue dots that they include in the kit, but I'm going to use my mat just because I ordered those too, you know how it is. And just going to put these guys on over here, wherever you want. It just adds to the fun of the card. And then finally, of course, we have our little gems. And for this, Okay, so for the gems, again, I'm using something that isn't ours, that came out before we had our Take Your Pick tool, but it does the same thing, this part of it. It's not nearly as good as ours, but mine are all in use. So go ahead and put them, you can put them anywhere you like. They did use 3 on each card. So that's what I'm going to do too. Also, not 2. Trying to confuse things for you. And one more. So there we go. So how fun is that, right? Isn't that adorable? I just think this is the most clever kit, and it saves so much time, because if you've ever done a step card, you would know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who never wanted to try it, this is the perfect way to give it a shot. So, all right, we good to move on to card number 2, girls? Yeah, excellent. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to be pros at this now once we're done, but we're going to take out our base. We're going to fold carefully the left side. Okay, and then we're going to start at the bottom and go mountain, valley, mountain, valley, and then mountain. And there it is. Once you figure out what you're doing, it's easy, but yeah, the first time through, definitely not easy. And when you're doing the score lines yourself and everything, I got to tell you, it's really not easy. Although, again, once you're on a roll, you figure it out. So that's what that looks like. Ta-da. All right. So the first piece we'll start with again is the largest piece that's going to go in the back. And this time I'm just going to put, instead of flattening it out like I did before, I'm just going to put 2 lines of adhesive here. The key is you don't want to put it so high up that it tops the card and then sticks to everything. So that's really why they did it here. But I'm going to go ahead and I put it on. I knew what I was doing, but it is good to note that that's the reason why. Okay, so here we are again. And it just about lines up. I should have put it a little bit higher and it would have, but it's okay. It's all good. All right. The next piece is, we're actually going to, there's no additional, is there an additional piece? No, there's no additional piece for the second step. We're going to build right onto it. And we're going to start with the chair. Now, I'm not sure if there's a right side up on this or not. I always get confused. I always think there is when I punch it out, but then I can't tell when I get it out. So you're only going to put adhesive at the very bottom. Okay. So this very bottom of the seat, because it's going to, this step, the second step is very low. Okay. So you're just going to be putting it on that second step. Okay, right in the center of the second step. And there you have it. But if you put too much, if you go too high, it's going to stick to the back and you're going to lose that effect and the card isn't going to open. So that's how you get that. And then we get to put some flip-flops in that second step. Here, again, you're just going to put the adhesive on the very bottom. And can overlap. They put them over here. But you want them to stick up just a little bit. So I guess they put the chair a little bit further over. I'm sorry. I put it right in the center. And maybe do it here so that you have room for your flaps there. And there they are. Lovely. Oops, you can't see. Sorry. There they are. All right. So now for the very front of the card, we are going to start with the umbrella. And again, we're going to put our adhesive at the very bottom only. And then they also put a little bit in the center of the umbrella. And so that way, when it's tipping backwards, it can hang on to that panel on the left side. So I'm just lining it up at the bottom, pressing it down, and then pressing it a little here. I think that's adorable just like that, but they went a step further and they took this sign, and before we glue it on, we are going to stamp our little, what we want the sign to say. And I think it's really cute that they have us stamping it on a separate piece of paper. And that just, I don't know, gives it a little bit more dimension when they do that. So I think that's really fun. They use the sign saying, relax, you deserve it. And that's what I'm going to do because, you know, that's a good one. Oops, I just dropped a piece. You deserve it. You're going to be blocked. I might be a little crooked. Gonna have to do that again. I get my glasses out. I can go without my glasses all day, and then I guess my eyes start to get tired when I start to use them at night. So there we go. Maybe not straight still, but we're gonna go for it. And we're just gonna use regular adhesive to adhere it to our sign. Let's see which one is better. And then that is going to get mounted onto the front of the card in the corner. Goes right to the bottom. Right? So relax, you deserve it. Okay. And then this is where, again, we have our little seashell. Yes, this is the one that they had us put it in the third pile, but it really belongs in the second card pile, like we did. There we go. You're making the other cards and you're using the instructions. That's what happened there. Little mistakes happen. And then we're going to take the glasses and we're going to put them on the other side. I love these little glasses. Sunglasses. And now we have it. So those are all the pieces. And then the last thing that we do is put our little gems on. And we can put these anywhere we want. We'll do it like they did. They put one over here. And one below. And one in the other corner. Over here somewhere. It's a little crowded. I'm going to put one here. There we have it. Card number 2. I love when it's all pieces. The only thing that would be even better is if they were stickers. Right? Love stickers. Anyway, but these are fun. All right. Thumbs up if you're ready for the third one. Excellent. Okay, so let's pull out our pile for card number 3. So this one has a sunset on it. Always pretty, but we're going to just do the same exact thing. We're going to fold, give this a little crease, plus it separates this so that we can do a mountain fold. And then valley. And a mountain. And a valley. And the final mountain. It's kind of the thing where you kind of have to fold everything all at the same time. But when you have to break it apart, it causes difficulty. But you girls are pros at this now. Got it down. A nice crease, and we are ready to decorate. So the first piece, again, we're going to start with the sunset. And that's going to be, it's going to go in the big spot. And like we talked about, let's go ahead and put it on here because it is better to do that so that you don't put too much adhesive in the wrong places. And there we go. We got that down. And that's our background. That one lined up perfect. All right. This one has for the second step. Now this is how I usually see step cards when they're made. The second step is a little bit higher than the first step, and the back step, the third step, is always the highest. So this is more of a traditionally built card. So now you have the sailboat in front. It looks so pretty. And then we have our palm trees. And for this, make sure you punch out these little guys in the middle. I think I forgot on my other one too. And for this, we're going to put some adhesive at the bottom and just a tad in the middle so that it all sticks together. Then it goes in the bottom corner. There you go. So it gives that 3D effect. And I feel like I'm missing something. Let's see. All right. So this is where they use the star. And I know I'm going a little fast here. Sorry, girls. Started to speed up. Didn't mean to. But the star is just going to go over here. Tucked it under. It's like it's on the sand. And the last piece for the card is the stamping of the sentiment. This one, they used the one that says sending an ocean of love. I thought that was nice too. If you ever the sentiment doesn't fit just right on the block, you can put it on a diagonal. Just something to think about in case that happens. Make sure your block's a little more useful. And then once you have that, it's just going to go on the front of the card. This one was really easy. It just goes down here. Oh, and of course we need our little gems. So we'll put those on. We'll just put around the palm trees, and then another one stretching over to the sentiment. And again, you don't have to do it this way, but it works nicely. Okay, so that is card number 3. Yay! Very easy peasy. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm sure you know that there are tons and tons of alternative projects. And I'm going to share just a little slideshow that I made with the projects. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, I'm going to do this first. And I just want to apologize for you'll see that it's a little blurry sometimes because when I take them, come on. Sorry, I was thinking. When I take them from a video and then I blow them up, this is what happens. But what this card is, it's a shaker card. She just cut out, she used a piece of Daffodil Delight and cut it out and just put this in the front. So she had little clear beads in there. That's what she had in there. So it's really cute, but the rest of them are a little better here. So this card, this is Cindy Bowman. Let me just move my little thing here. Okay, this is Cindy Bowman. I didn't say who the last one was. I'm sorry. I can go back to it. But anyway, so she took the card and just did it a little bit differently. And see how she put the sun back here? The only thing that I would warn you or her about if you're making this card is that you need to put the sun a little bit lower. Otherwise, it's not going to fit in the envelope. See how the card is closed and this is a little too high. So it's just something that you have to think about when you're using step cards like that. All right, but I thought it was super cute. Next we have, much clearer, this was a photo. This is Linda Cullen, and I love how she put it on the black and just she used two of the different die cuts and put them together. Waving hello, adorable, right? So cute. This is from Tammy White, and she has a little tutorial on how to do this. If you look up Tammy White Fun in the Sun or July Paper Pumpkin, you'll find the tutorial. You just have to Google it. And this is a triple tier pull-up card. So that's really fun. Something a little bit different. This one, nice and basic. I love it. I'm just really using just a couple of the die cuts. Nice and clean and beautiful. What she also did here, she used I think a white, I think she stamped on it with white, with some speckles. So it looks maybe the sand. Does that come in the kit? No, but we have other sets that have sand. So that's probably how she got that. And that's Melissa Seplowitz. She's one of the designers for the Paper Pumpkin Facebook group. So she is a designer that anybody can look at that Facebook group. Just look up Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin and you'll see that. And so this was one of her designs. This one's not good because I blew it up, but you can see how she made an ocean. She made the ocean scene with the palm trees. You can see the pieces if you look carefully, but it'll make you sick if you look for it too long. All right, Rachel Tessman, always a favorite. She made this. This is a shaker card as well. This is where you put the base of the card into a clear envelope and then tape it down. And before you tape it down, you put in these little sprinkles. And these are some of the sprinkles that are available in the annual catalog right now. So that's a fun way to do it. Lois, you look puzzled, but we've done this before. You get it?
No, I get it. No.
Okay.
I'm just in another time zone.
All
We're
good.
all
Okay. All right.
outer space today.
That's all right. I just wanted to explain. Okay. So she did that. And this one I thought was super cute too. Stacy McCain. All right. And then we have Lynn Dunn. She always does a nice job with Paper Pumpkin alternatives. And these, I thought, super easy. You could get a whole bunch of cards. You could get 3 cards out of every one of the pieces in the cards. I'm showing it on the side here, but you know, you take out all the little pieces and you can easily make 3 cards out of it. So anyways, that's a way to do it. And the last one, I think, this is Melinda Hart, and she used lots of cardstock in very bright colors. She matched up the colors with the different die cuts and what's in the kit, and she just used it all in different places. So I thought that was really nice that way she did it. Now, Sheila, can I put you on the spot for you to show us your card that you made? I don't know if you remember where you found it, but we're going to have to get you to, you have to come off mute. Sorry, that's my fault because I make you go on mute. Go ahead.
Okay. Is it Vitran or Vitran?
Oh, right, Vitran, yes.
Yeah, and she had some interactive cards. And this one has a little feature where the crab can wave.
Yep, adorable.
She explains the mechanism, very clear. She goes nice and slow, which is good for me. And it was easy. And I needed to try it because it just it was so cute.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for sharing and doing that in advance so that we could show it here. So thank you everybody for joining today. If you have any questions about Paper Pumpkin, you can certainly go to my website or ask in any one of my social channels. And I'm glad that you joined today, and have a great night, everyone.
Thanks so much.
All right, good night.